Good day, good afternoon. Welcome to Something to Compare to. I'm your host, Alexander Blucher. Today we're going to be discussing about bank statements, our budget sheet, the plan for 2022, and just to add in there, generational wealth. Okay? So, before we get started, what is the materials we need? The index card. What size is this? I don't know as yet. But make sure you have your index card for like quick notes, composition books so you can be able to journal. Be organized, write what's important in there. And like I said, I mentioned before, is that I bought a sketchbook, nice white canvas, in order to draw your ideas out, a vision board at least, whatever you want to put on there. But at least you have the room to do what's necessary. Okay, so what we're going to start with is bank statements. Okay, and today's discussion is very important because I'm going to take it to an A to Z situation. Okay, when it comes to bank statements, it is past history on what you spent on your personal checking. Okay, I don't need to know that information. That is your personal information on what you spend. But if you attend or go to the bank and ask the people that work there, may I have a copy of my last three statements, which is we're in December now, so which will be let's go with October, November, December. Well, December have to be over, so we have to go with September, October, November. Yeah, so December have to be over in order to include December statement. So that means December statement will be available in January. So September, September, October, November, three statements, okay? And what you're gonna do is get a copy of that. Physically go there, please. Try to find shortcuts. I really think it's not the best deal to go through the shortcuts on this because I'm gonna explain a little bit more further why we're doing it this way. So when you print out the bank statements, I was trying to have a copy ready because I did my bank statements about 2 years ago, okay? And I was blown away by what I saw and what I was spending my money on. I don't know how many transactions it really, that right there doesn't matter, but the the amount of transactions I was doing at the time, my money like $2 was going here, $8 was going there, $10 is going over here. I mean, and it wasn't towards the important things like water bill, light bill, phone bill. I was like swiping at coffee shops, movie theaters, things that are fun things, which is fine. But it's like now I'm in a position I could budget for that, you know, versus just spend the money freely. Okay, so you want to get a highlighter, whatever color you want, and highlight the things that are not related towards your obligation bills, water bill, light bill, phone bill, things like that. Anything else outside of that category of your groceries, if you shop at a main grocery store, that's fine. But if you're always at the convenience store picking up something small, which is fine, highlight that. Okay. Sorry for the self care people that are getting their self care done. If you are spending a whole list of things for self care, just highlight it because once again, we want to position ourselves what we could budget for, making sure that all the obligation bills are taken care of. You know, you have your savings to build, and whatever is left over, what can be used for your self care stuff, as far as going to those things. But at least you know how much money you are spending versus just spending freely. So why 3 months of bank statements? Because there's going to be an average of potentially how much money that is going out from your main obligations. Okay, I don't know what was my number back in the days, but it was a good amount that I was able to shift about 50 to $150 towards something else, which was pretty cool. Okay, so I need the bank statements. Get that highlighter. Well, get a copy. You know, get a copy. Write that down. That's 3 months. Okay. And we highlighting the list of things that are not related to the bills. Okay. If you want to add in their monthly bills, relate to the monthly bills. We already mentioned the 3 copies and bank statements. Okay. And take your time with that. Don't rush the process on that. Be able to total up the amount of money you're spending. Okay. And this is why I have my notes. I am doing this live right with you. So we could just take it from there. So once you get the bank statements, now we go into the budget sheet. Okay. Let me see here. Let me set that up. All right. With the budget sheet, we want to discuss the rent / mortgage. I'll write the amount there. For me, that's the NA because the way I set up my living arrangements, I am able to not be in that position right now. HOA, car maintenance, car fuel. All right. And let me add in there what we have: our car loans, car insurance. I hope you guys writing this down because I'm doing this right with you, okay? And even if you're not, hey, this is something I'm doing every other week because I get paid twice a week where I work, okay? And even if I wasn't getting paid, any income that comes in, I want to make sure I'm getting this down packed. So at least I'm a little bit organized with my finances, okay? And I want you to be organized with your finances. Cell phone, the electric bill. Now, if you're not paying for some of these things, but somebody else is paying for it, just go ahead and put 0. That's fine, or NA. That's okay. Okay. Cable and internet. Eating out. Did I mention student loans? I missed that part. All right, so eating out, dining in. Groceries. Medical expense. Gym. Self-care. Add all that up, okay? If you're buying the shoes for self-care, getting your nails done for self-care, women, getting your hair done, women or guys, if you're getting retwists or braids, add all that up in self-care, okay? We have religious, tithe, charity, okay? Subscriptions, Amazon, Amazon subscriptions, Netflix subscriptions, things like that. Okay, put that on there. I want to add that if you are watching my previous videos and you already done a budget sheet, feel free to do it again. Okay, it doesn't stop. Okay, so Hulu, Netflix. I didn't add in the student loans. I forgot it. The student loans monthly. I'm aware that it's on a pause right now, but look, let's take care of that. The student loans monthly, and what is that balance? You know, I'm gonna put SL loan, which is student loan balance. Okay. All right. So because I ran out of space, I'm going to make room to total up the expense. And right underneath that, I want to do the income. What is my income I'm bringing in monthly? Okay. If you are with a spouse, I recommend for you guys to do the budget sheet together, in the sense that you guys could discuss over the bills of where the funds are going. And also, when it comes to the income, what is his income? What is her income? I should say, also, what is your partner's income? Okay. In the sense of that you add that up, so you subtract the expense total. All right. Let me get the calculator set up real quick. Okay. Okay, so after the budget sheet, we went over that. What is the income total and what is the expense total? So, if I'm not mistaken, there is a potential number for me as an individual of, say, 2,200. Okay, so 2,200, and you subtract the expenses, which I know that my expenses at least around 500. That leaves me with a good amount of this, all right, which is $1,700. It leaves me with that amount. There's options I have. I could be able to put funds towards savings and put some things towards collections. I don't have any collections, but if you do have collections, you can put that amount towards collections. And any credit cards, you want to be able to pay your smallest bill. If it's 250, 300, pay the smallest credit card bill, and you snowball affect the next bill. Okay, so I just want to add that in there. If you're done, we move on to the next topic. But I just want to add one more thing to this topic: is that I'm positioning myself for 2022, and what this budget sheet allows me to see how much savings I'll have by the summertime and the end of next year. Okay. So one of the things I thought before even recording this was, what am I saving for? Of course, is emergency funds, but I want to leave a gem with you guys today. That my purpose of saving is towards water bill, light bill, and property tax, and some things regards to, uh, you know, a vehicle fuel, gas. Okay, so what happens is, just an example is, if the electric bill is $100, as the example I use here, I have $1,700 left over after spending my monthly expenses. Excuse me. I have $1,700. So what's going to happen is that I will look forward to paying $100 towards the light bill, and $100 for 2023 light bill. So what I'm doing is that I paid once, but I'm saving for 2023. So what I'm practicing is, after a year goes by, okay, of 2022, I already have my finances set aside for 2023 as emergency funds. Now, I am working, so if something happened towards me on my job, I'm not able to work, the funds are there for 2023, for a whole year's worth. Now, that's just one step. I'm looking forward, and my plan is, I'm going to share with you guys today, is to have a 4-year plan of that kind of formula, that kind of setup, where if I am working, paying bills, and doubling my bill amount, like the example of the $100, I'll work 4 years for that plan, and the next 4 years, the following 4 years after that, would be me saying, hey, I would like to study into something else that may require me to be a little bit more focused on that study, and at least I have the funds ready to pay the bills monthly. So that is just an open idea, something creative, but I am going to put that in practice. I did do a budget plan for the whole year of 2022 of, if I take care of this bill at this time, this frees up my money. The tithing, I tithe around this season. And the way I do my tithing, because I did drop some information a couple videos ago. I don't know which one it was. I just said, I tithe for $200. Now, of course, tithing is 10%. So if it sounds about right. So $200. But what I kind of did is like I added up my yearly salary, and the tithe is 10%. But I am trying to venture into some entrepreneur stuff. So half of my salary, whatever that number is, go towards the personal income, spending stuff, and then the other half I'm trying to pursue into other entrepreneurial ventures. So I need capital for that. So what I'm trying to get is that the first half towards personal, I'm tithing that. So the number when I did all my numbers, that's about $9,000. So I want to make sure 10% of 900, I'm tithing to the church I attend. Now, I'm in my early 30s, and I'll share my age now. I'm 33 years old. Okay, it's no secret. When I was in my 20s, I was not so big on tithing. I don't know if anybody felt that way. Why am I giving 10%? But the more I surrendered, the more I was like, look, I'm holding on to things that I don't have any control of. Let me share the income I make in order to grow in an environment that I may not be able to participate day to day. So because I may be attending a church on Sunday, and if I try to make it every Sunday, I'll make it. But if I'm tithing, that church use those funds for good purposes, okay? And if something in the brain goes like, yeah, right, they don't use it, they use it for something else, that is something you may have to work on. Work on yourself, because normally you would like to attend somewhere that you kind of see the growth of the services. And I've been to about 3. One in Miami Gardens, one in North Miami Beach, a church in North Miami Beach. Sorry, North Miami. It was in North Miami Beach. And I attend one in Lauderdale Lakes, where you see the growth. So I'm very thankful I could freely say here, without looking at it, close my eyes, here you go. Do what's necessary. Do what's good for good intentions. And that's what they do. All right, so the tithing is there on... what I mentioned on the tithe is that I take care of the tithe. I take care of that for like a good 3 to 4 months of sending my money. So at least I'm not sending it every week. So what I'm trying to do now is, from the bank statements to your budget sheet and planning for future, is that you get a chance to see how to compress your funds on what is important in this due time. So from my understanding, when there's a lot of bills, I minimize my bills as much as possible. But when you minimize your bills, you get a chance to see like, wait, I gotta pay this card. They asking for $25. I gotta pay this card. They asking for, you know, $10. I gotta pay this bill. They asking for this. What I'm trying to do is that when it comes to the debit cards, oh sorry, the credit cards or collections, there's a way to use the snowball effect. So instead of putting $25 here, $50 here, you could be able to say, you know what, $80 go towards this bill. And it's going to take me about 2 to 3 months to pay this off. And you actually see it on your planning once you plan for 2022. The bank statements, once again, you see the past of what you did with your money. It's like, wow, I spent my money over here. I could rearrange and put my money over here and take care of that. Collections and credit cards, if you make payments on those, your credit score will go up. What's the goal here? I think the goal here is to have more money in your pocket versus paying all these bills, more money in your pocket, and also to bring your credit score up. Okay? So moving on, I hope you understand the information that is coming out my mouth. Rush Hour, Chris Tucker. But all right. So moving on is I want to share that something happened 2 weeks ago, and it was just ridiculous. And I spoke of it. All right. I don't know why I was being playful with my jokes, and boom. Uh, we have a washing machine in the home that when it washes, depends how much load you put in there, it may not hold the load, so it'll make this loud sound while spinning. So I don't know what I said, but it was in the verge of this thing may not last long, because it was doing it for quite some time. I washed my clothes. I came back. My clothes were soaking wet. Did not dry. Did not spin dry at all. And I was like, is it time for a washing machine? Like another one? Yeah, it's time for another washing machine. And eventually, thankfully, due to some of the practices I've done, started 2 years ago. Okay, 2, 3 years ago. I don't remember the exact year, but I started being more disciplined in this area. That I have a credit line with how can I say an improvement store. I have a credit line with an improvement store that I walked in there. Before I could make my purchase, I say I just wanted to make sure can I qualify for this. They ran my background information and said, yes, sir, you qualify for this amount. So I was like, okay, great. Let me get a new washing machine. I didn't ask them. I just went in there and grabbed the washing machine. Not to keep the story too long because it is a little funny. But I just walked in there and I told the guy, hey, I'm walking in here to buy something like I'm buying milk from a store. You walk in the store, you buy the milk, you get out. As shoppers, I am being a little sexist on this. I'm talking for the fellas. And when we shop, we straight to the point. There's a theory out there when it comes to most women. When they shop for one thing, but they come out with 5 items or more items than they expect. So no, that did not happen. I went in there to get a washing machine. Everything was done like within minutes. It was perfect. New washing machine. Okay, so now that's in my budget in order to pay that off. The money is there. There's no reason for me if I do want to have a great time. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I am in a season right now. I think I've been through the distractions in my 20s, if that makes sense. Okay, in my 20s were a lot of distractions. My 30s is a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more focused. I'm on a go. I'm on a roll. Okay, so boom, washing machine broke, new washing machine. Okay, and where does that put our mindset on this channel? Something to compare to, is that If something goes wrong in your household, the finances is there, okay? And that's why we're using that emergency fund or savings to position yourself. So if something happens, it's already there, okay? So that's the story I wanted to bring up, okay? And I'm gonna leave you guys with um, a gem, okay, which is generational wealth. For some reason, when I thought of generation wealth, I thought of um, a family before me. Just thought of me, and I'm very gifted and lovable, which I am. I still am, but it's just more like they really thought of me, like, and everything was passed on to me, and it's like pass the baton to continue. Unfortunately, in my span of life, the circumstances wasn't that. So with generational wealth, it's not just leaving a house for your. It's not only for that. So it's not limited to leaving your house for your child, leaving this car for your child. But we could get something deeper that I will share to you guys is if you're in a position to better yourself on your credit score, take care of those collections, pay down, have 30 less than 30% usage on your credit card. Once again, if you have a credit card limit of $1,000, please try. If you are building your credit, try to not spend more than $300. Okay, but if you have to spend more than $300, pay it as soon as possible before months go by. Like just pay back in a zero balance. Not to get off topic, that when it comes to having a great credit score and there's kids involved, if you have anyone here that's watching this have a child or nephew, a family member that that's you guys are uh, family oriented, I should say. If they're 15 years and older, 15, 16, 17, you could put them on your credit card as an authorized user. Okay. Now, when you do that, you are preparing the teenager, I should say, you're preparing the teenager for the real world of having great credit. Okay, this is not a secret. Okay, this is just something that we could be able to share more information on how this can be done. Okay, so the user authorization, you put your son or daughter on there, and they will ask you if you want a card mailed out to the person so they could be able to use it. My preference, I'm gonna say no, because if I'm going to put somebody on an authorized user to build a credit, let that be the focus, okay? Let's not make the focus of spending money access to more money. The focus of the generational wealth, which is the tip, is to better the next generation credit score. I feel, as an example, that wasn't set up for me. So with some reading and some studies and going through some experiences, I was like, whoa, why am I learning this in the age of 30s? Like, if I was the ifs, if I was this teenage or whatever, credit score, I didn't care. I didn't even care to build my credit until I was like, what, 4 years ago? I don't know, late 20s. So all those years I was, doing the distraction stuff, going out, which is nothing wrong with that. Just uh just being out there, I should say. I don't want to label myself on something that I already lived through. I already got through that. So I'm at a point now that I understand, but now it's time to build from here. So now the generational wealth, as if anyone that's younger than me or older than me, it doesn't matter, has this information, you could be able to use it and see what is the true purpose of having a great credit score. Okay? So we covered a lot of things today. If you stay to the end, listen to this, I just want to say thank you. If you participated in the budget sheet, I just want to say thank you. And if you took time to go to the bank to get copies of the bank statement, great job. You did great. So with that being said, thanks for watching. something to compare to channel. I'm your host, Alexander Blucher. Have a great day, okay?